You're listening to 97.7 KC Radio with Ryan Gomez on his Hour of Power and Leadership.
Welcome back to 97.7 FM KC Radio on an Hour of Power and Leadership with me, host Ryan Gomez. The next segment is going to be really interesting because I have a special guest on the program. I was speaking to him online. I have a very special, the person I've been speaking to is Terry Barridge. He's an oral communication coach and a self-esteem architect. Let's put it that way. He's a presentation skills coach and a keynote speaker. And look, I've known Terry for a little while, and I'm actually inspired by his way on how he goes about his presentations and how he helps organizations per se. Some of the organizations he's helped is Toastmasters International. He helps Toastmasters International as well, and put in some of his training programs together, which is really, really popular and has taken taken to another level. Without further ado, please help me welcome Terry. Terry, welcome to an Hour of Power and Leadership.
G'day, Ryan. Welcome.
Thank you for having me on the program, man. It's an absolute privilege to have you on the program. Terry, just tell us a little bit about yourself, Terry. I've given you a bit of a wrap there, but in your own words, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, look, Ryan, back in the 80s, I was lucky enough to do a train-the-trainer course, and before that, in my early days as a worker, I sort of was envious of teachers having, lots of holidays and didn't seem to be doing too much work. But I got the bug of teaching. Yes. It's incredible as a trainer and as a coach. That satisfaction of helping people, it was just something surreal, something unreal that I just thoroughly enjoyed, and it just sort of became a bug, became a passion of mine ever since.
And in saying that, back in the, like I said, 70s, 80s, and 90s, you got into that. But what inspired you? What was the inspiration, or what was the message behind becoming in helping to be a public speaking coach?
That's a good question. That's a good question. The message behind it, I think it still comes back to being able to have that satisfaction.
Yes.
To see somebody, you start with somebody and they're as nervous as a kitten, and they got no self-esteem, and they say, I can't do this, I can't do that, and within a short period of time, by giving them the right kind of encouragement and working on their strengths, their individual strengths, not so much just a broad brush thing. Each person's an individual, so working on their individual strengths, you see this person flourish and become who they should be. And I think, to me, yes, that's such an inspiration that you can't help but become totally involved in it and love it.
Yes, yes. And you find your passion, isn't it? You found your passion through that. You found your purpose through that, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. That's totally my purpose in life now. And somebody could offer me a job tomorrow, 7 figures, and I don't think I'd really take it, because if it didn't involve helping people and seeing that person, that individual develop, if I was sitting at a desk somewhere pushing papers, it just wouldn't appeal to me.
Yes.
I think I'd have to follow my dreams.
Fantastic. And that's why you're an inspiration to a lot of people out there. You help various organizations, but so you've got your own business, but let's talk about your business. So what
certainly.
do you focus on your business?
Well, primarily on organizations, corporate sector. I've got my parent business is Speechmaster Academy, but I've got several arms off of that. One's the corporate sector, which is corporate communication courses, and the other is speech courses, which is more community-based.
Yes.
So I run courses for the community, individuals, more so than groups within a corporation. So it covers both areas. Again, because it's my passion to see people grow and develop. So why should anybody miss out?
Yes, true, very true.
Why should anybody miss out?
And it's a great thing because, just going back on my life as such, the number one fear, like a lot of people out there, was, for me, it was 5 years ago. I couldn't be doing what I'm doing right now on radio. As a matter of fact, speaking to audiences around the world, that's a big no-no for me at this point. But I had to, if I had a message in myself, and I said if I wanted to get the message out to the community of helping people, I needed to get up and build that confidence and self-esteem. So it's about building yourself first before you can build someone else. And that's the absolute key. And I said to myself, no, I've got to get out there. I've got to put myself on the line. I've got to be laughed at. I've got to be, but it took a lot of courage. It took a lot of guts to get up and do what I had to do. And look, I continuously learn, and you never stop learning till the end of life. But it is such an absolute key to take that step. And what is it that How does one build confidence for example, and people say, I don't need to go up to a public speaking course as per se. Why do I need to go to public speaking course?
Mm.
And, and people say, I need, and the key is to build confidence and self-esteem, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And the point of the public speaking course is, and to me, public speaking is just a tool.
Yes.
It's just a tool because, let's face it, most of us, unless we have some kind of medical issue or we're born with some kind of, impediment,
yes,
then most of us can talk okay. We don't have any problem with our family and friends. So we don't have a problem with talking in public or anywhere else. It's the self-confidence that really makes or breaks the difference of us speaking in front of a group of people who are maybe our peers or maybe their higher stakeholders in an issue. So it's simply a matter of overcoming that. And public speaking is the perfect tool for overcoming that because you have to be vulnerable, you have to put yourself out there, and you have to realise that it's simply a matter of having the courage to do it. It's a learnt skill. It's not something that we're born with. It's a learnt skill. We may be born with it, but we don't get hold of babies and teach them. We teach adults mostly.
Yeah, it's about taking the baby steps, right? Anything in life, anything we do, an organization per se, if you want to move up the ladder, move up the corporate ladder, let's put it that way, you've got to take the baby steps. You've got to learn. You've got to learn, build yourself. And I think it's the key is absolutely, a lot of people say, I've got to go out there and get a higher education to do this. I have to do that. But at the end of the day, it's about building confidence in yourself, right?
Yeah, look, there's a million people with higher education, but there's only less than 1% of them that can actually use oral skills properly and effectively and communicate effectively with people. And they're the people that the managers and the bosses will be targeting over anyone else.
Very true, absolutely. I'll take it to the next step by saying, how does it's easy to say, you've got to build the confidence, you've got to, you've got to build self-esteem about it. You've got to take the next step. But what is taking the next step? What is it that's taking the next step? I'll probably put you on the spot there, but
no, not at all. No, I love this. It's sensational because you need to be able to field questions even in the classroom, teaching people these things. And to me, it's about courage.
Yes.
And a lot of people say, "Oh God, I'm frightened. I've got no courage." But courage is a very simple thing, and it's a commitment.
Yes.
But I call it courage. You spell it with 3 letters: YES. You're asked to do something, you say yes, and then you work out how to do it.
Very true.
Admittedly, it takes that little bit of courage to do that, but if you do it, you'll be absolutely amazed at your own personal resourcefulness to be able to meet that commitment.
Very true. I absolutely agree with that, Terry. Absolutely agree with that.
Now, admittedly, even myself, growing up and going through the mill over the years, it took me a lot to realise it as well. But each time I said yes and then went forward, it worked.
Yes, true, very true.
And so until you do it, you really don't know. And it's just like any of these things, until you actually do it, you don't know.
Very true. I'm with Terry Barridge, communication coach and specialist. Look, he's helped various organizations and many organizations like a very reputed organization, Toastmasters International as well. Now, Terry, just touching on Toastmasters itself, we'll come back to that in just a minute or two, but let's take a short break and we'll be right back. You're tuned into 97.7 FM KC Radio on an hour of power and leadership. Look, stay tuned. We'll be speaking to Terry just after this break.
You're listening to 97.7 KC Radio with Ryan Gomez on his Hour of Power and Leadership.
Welcome back to 97.7 FM KC Radio on an Hour of Power and Leadership. Our Facebook page is allthews.facebook.com/Ryan Gomez segment. Look, if you want to leave a message for Terry, I can ask Terry. It's probably a bit, but it's never too late for anything. If you want to send me a message and I can ask Terry the question, he's a wealth of experience, Terry. Terry, can you tell us a little bit about your business as such and the purpose behind your business and how is it going?
Yeah, look, going very, very well. Thanks, Ryan. And but like any business, you're always hunting for more.
Yes.
You're always hunting for more. It's just the nature of the beast. We need to have butter on the table, and therefore we need to be gainfully employed all the time. But about the business, it's as I said earlier on, it's about helping people. My motto is having fun helping people. And so I like to make the classes and the courses all have a reasonable amount of fun in it as well, not just boring, hard, full-on stuff, because people don't learn if it gets too serious. People like to enjoy themselves, and they seem to learn faster if they're enjoying themselves. So normally my program is such that it runs over a period of weeks,
Yes, yes.
That way you get the repetition happening, and you can build on it and create little challenges for people at each increment along the way, so that they're developing and growing. Because to grow, we need to step outside of ourselves a little bit each time.
Yes,
and so we continue to grow a little bit faster, and it's about that growth and stepping into that uncomfortable zone. And then we get used to the fact of saying, yes, I can manage this courage business.
And
okay.
That's true. That's true. Very true. And how important it is to have a coach, per se, when you are doing something like that. Because I've seen a lot of people, and I work where I used to work. I work now, and things like that. I've seen people that have great content, but when they get on stage and they try to get that content across, they're all over the place. You got the slides all over the place, the content's all over the place. But yet the content is great. If they learn to put it and structure it well, they can get a message across in the most appropriate way, right?
Spot on, yeah, spot on. Yeah, look, anything. You don't see an Olympian without a coach. You don't see a head businessman without a coach. Perhaps a team of people around them. No man is an island. I don't care who you are or what you are. To get where you want to go, you really need support of qualified people around you.
Great. And tell us a little bit about Toastmasters. You work close with Toastmasters as well, just to touch on that as well.
Certainly, yeah. Well, I joined Toastmasters probably 10 years ago, and since then, I followed my own creed, fortunately, so I'm not a hypocrite in what I say. And that is, in my first year, I put my hand up for a leadership role within the club that I joined.
Yes.
And then the next year, I put my hand up for a leadership role within the district that the club was a part of, which covers Victoria, Tasmania, South Australia. And so since then, I've been in leadership roles in both the club and the district, as well as being a member in my club and a strong member in my club. And I think, again, it comes back to this: courage is a three-letter word. Say yes, put your hand up and have a go at it.
Very true, very true.
And you don't know until you have a go at it. Toastmasters is a great organisation because it's there, it's a safe environment you're in, and it's there to help you, and everybody in the environment is to help you. There are no instructors. It's purely based on peer support.
Yes, yes. Very true.
Everybody within the group that you're in, wherever it may be at the time, supports you, listens to what you're doing, how you're doing it, and then gives you analytical feedback on what you did right, what your strengths are, and some things that you might be able to do to improve what you're already doing.
Very
so
true.
Even now, 10 years later, I can go to clubs and I can still get feedback from people to say, I could improve by doing this, or I could improve by doing that.
And that's the key, isn't it, to constantly learn from that.
Yeah. Such a big key to have that growth mindset.
Yes. You speak about coming back to your business stuff. You help organizations, you help managers, you help leaders to develop and achieve performance. Now, I know it's something you can talk about. We'll talk about another time, but just quickly touching on it. How do you do that? What is it that you've done? You run programs. You said you run programs on a regular basis.
Yeah, well, we run programs for groups on a regular basis. That might be groups of sales reps. It could be groups of even people in the logistics departments. But everybody needs to be able to communicate better, and everybody needs to have a greater level of self-confidence. It really is the key to everything, the higher level of self-confidence. But also help individuals. If somebody's an exec and they've got to do a presentation at the next national company conference and they're a little bit jittery about it and they've put their speech together and they've got the unsureness that's happening all through the middle of their stomach and everywhere else, then they can call in the likes of me, a coach, and I can walk through it and I can go through the structure and look at the structure of the content that they have, reorganise that so that it has the effect that's needed. It grabs the attention audience at the beginning. It takes them on a little journey. You add some stories to it so that it adds that intrigue, and then you finish off with a strong message so that the audience has got something to remember you by. And I think that's important. And it really is a foundational thing, but it really works.
Absolute key, because you look at organizations per se, they try to sell themselves, and even they want to sell themselves, and if they sell themselves within the organization, it doesn't matter, but outside in the real world, they've got to be able to sell themselves, and to be able to be confident in standing up and selling themselves to the world, they've got to be able to be competent in what they do, right?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely, yeah. And look, speaking is selling. Let's not hide from the facts here. If nothing else, you're selling yourself and your own abilities.
Yes.
But certainly there needs to be a stronger message over and above that, because it needs to be a selfish thing. Oh, I'm great, I'm here, I'm just for my ego, because forget about that, that doesn't work.
True.
We know that doesn't work. And so it's more about, what you represent as an organisation or what you represent as an individual and how you're moving forward and how you're helping other people in the world.
Fantastic, Terry. It's great to have you on board. We're running short of time as well. We've got to have you on board. Speak to you again, once again, on the program and get a bit more deeper into some of the, on building some of the skills in your business per se. But how can people contact you if they want to contact you, Terry?
Well, I'm easy to get hold of. It's probably by my email address, I suppose, isn't it, or my web address. The web address is all the W's.
Yep.
SpeechMasterAcademy.com.
SpeechMasterAcademy.com. So there you go.
It's very simple. That's the main one. And the others are speechcourses.com.au. Okay. And the long one, of course, is corporatecommunicationcourse.com.au. But let's stick with the simple, easy ones first.
Yes, that's true. There you have it, Terry Barridge on line with me, speaking about communication skills per se. If you want to get in contact with Terry, you can get on to his website, which is you can say it again,
www.speechmasteracademy.com. And my email is terry@. So this is very simple as well if you just want to go directly to the email.
Oh, fantastic. There you have it. Terry, thanks for being on the program with us. And look, we're definitely going to speak again sometime soon, but absolute privilege to have you on the program.
My pleasure as well. Thank you very much, Ryan.
There you have Terry Barridge on line with us, and great to have him on the program. A man of great wealth and experience when it comes to public speaking per se. You tuned into 97.7 FM KC Radio.